Tuesday morning. Yes, indeed. We're off and running here on this, the 4th day of February. Yeah, it took me a long time to get that R, that extra R in February. We're glad you're out there. Want you to be part of the show. And, of course, you can hear that show on 102.1 FM. Thanks for dialing us up. But also, you've got WALTMeridian.com. Also, don't forget Facebook. I believe blue light's on. Hello. And we certainly want you to be part of it. So give us a call in the phone line. Call 601-485-9191. I'm Roger B. The other guy waving is Rob Atkinson.
Hey, good morning, folks. How's everybody?
Oh, man. Tell you what, it's off to a good start today.
Yep, got a big show today. Big show, big show.
Yesterday was kind of a Monday for me.
Oh, it was a true Monday?
Yeah.
Get the Monday blues?
I missed an appointment. That was one thing.
Oh,
and then
yeah, I know about that one.
Then that kind of sets the tone for other things.
Oh, is it trickle down effect?
Yeah, just kind of once you have something kind of major that just bugs you, your day doesn't go much better after that.
Did you grovel enough?
I didn't. I think I made Penny mad. Yeah, I think I made Penny really mad this time.
Penny loves me.
Well, yeah, you're always been the favorite.
The favorite.
But anyhow, yeah, I was supposed to, and I wanted to say a big thank you to the good folks up there at Naval Air Station, because they were recognizing some citizens.
Some citizens.
Not citizens, but some folks in the community that have helped support the Naval Air Station, of course. We were included in that group.
Nice. Well, we appreciate the honor, and it's always a pleasure to support the mission at NAS Meridian.
Here's my theory. Why can't they just kind of tuck that plaque until next year and give me a second chance? Can I have a second chance? Can I have a second chance?
We have our first ever back-to-back winner here at our award ceremony.
And now, finally, we got some, I was so much, I discovered when I got home.
You were sliding to Biden yesterday. It's okay. It happens to the best of us.
I was what?
Sliding to Biden.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Sorry.
I realized what the problem was when I got home.
Yeah.
And you, of course, you seem to navigate this quite well. But when I got home, I was adding up all my W-2s from the different places I worked.
Oh, fun. Yeah, I've got a whole drawer full of those. Yeah.
Well, I think that's my problem. I mean, you're good right now. You're young, got your mind, everything's good.
Mm-hmm.
But, after a while, it's going to, it's tough to keep up with those 5 jobs.
Just get you some ice cream like Joe and you'll be okay.
That would just...
Chocolate chip.
Nothing can fix a day like Bluebell homemade vanilla.
A couple of scoops and you're good to go.
Okay, I've got I think this is going to be a really good day.
Tossing a waffle cone and you're good to go.
All right. Well, now I'm cheered up, ready to go. Let's take a phone call here at Mornings in Meridian. The phone's line is lit up. Good morning. How you doing?
MAGA morning, true American patriot.
Here he is.
MAGA, MAGA, MAGA.
Good Lord.
Making America great again, I tell you.
Well, I tell you what, I couldn't be prouder of our president, Donald J. Trump. Canada, Mexico, all these places, they were going to buck him, but they all folded like a cheap lawn chair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the tariffs go on China today.
Well, now, I like that. Here's the thing I'm going to ask you about, though. We say they folded, they caved, they whatever. I don't think either one of them were surprised about what Trump did. I think they knew it was coming down the road for many, many weeks. So I don't think they were. I think they were just kind of waiting to see what he was going to do, and then they probably had a good idea how they were going to respond.
I mean, you're talking about the guy who wrote the book, The Art of the Deal.
That's right. But these countries had to kind of posture, to save face. Yeah. But the thing about it, like the drug cartel, they basically have declared war on the Border Patrol. Take them out, man. Put the military down there. Put the gunships in the air. Put the Predator drones in the air. And take them out, man.
And you know what, Has? I'm glad you brought up the border, because when I was watching the news this morning, I got a little taller this morning. I kind of poked my chest out because Pete Hegseth and Tom Homan were down on the border yesterday, and they basically had the words for those guys and girls down there, "We got your back." How reassuring is that
right.
to hear that we've got your back?
That's right. Compared to what has come in the past and thankfully is gone. But on a happy note, too, Elon Musk, he's over the Department of Government Efficiency, and their emblem has got a little kind of cartoon-style dog, like Doggy, and I think that is wonderful. And he's taken a battle axe to these departments and agencies and junk that are bleeding America dry on worthless giveaway programs, world welfare, and everything else. That's American taxpayer money. That money needs to be spent in America on Americans that are in need, not in greed. But here's the deal. He's talking about the W-2 forms. We have people in this country don't even know what that is.
You're right.
Never had one. Don't have no concept, man.
He's right. A lot of people in Mississippi don't, that's for sure.
That's exactly correct. And hopefully that problem gets corrected. I mean, it's kicked the can down the road, but sooner or later the road runs out, and what are you going to do then?
Right, that's right. And
so the only way to solve problems is to make up your mind the problem will be solved. And it's just like Trump said, well, Americans may endure a little economic pain on these tariffs, but what's the deal? Just let China completely rule the whole economics? Hopefully it will encourage Americans to bring their businesses back to America, hire Americans, pay a decent wage and benefits. But we still have the power over here. If there were American counterparts to all the products we allow the godless, atheist, communist Chinese to make, maybe Americans would buy them. Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they couldn't afford them. They'd have to go with the Chinese-made stuff. But greed drives the whole thing. We need to be a self-sufficient country. Washington, he talked about foreign entanglements and to avoid that. And we need that. We need to redo that concept. Like this United Nations mess, what good has it ever done? Move it. Push it off of the United States. Y'all want to have that band of idiots somewhere, have it somewhere else. No, it's part of that one world order concept. The new world order, and we don't need to be involved in that. The order we need is to protect, defend this piece of dirt, and we're going to rule it. We're not endowed by the Creator to rule the whole earth, to be the ultimate Walmart for everybody down here. This little patch of dirt is ours, and this we shall defend. And we're going to get these people deported. We secure that border. And we're going to build this country back the way it should have been and the way it should have been intended from the get-go. And I think, man, I every day I wake up just like a Christmas morning. What is Trump and Elon Musk going to do today? Lord God, it's like a surprise every day.
And we're only 2 weeks into this thing.
That's right. God, it cannot do anything but get better. And when Pam Bondi gets up there, you're going to see the entire criminal justice system turn around. And I think Biden, I don't believe he skated as much as he thought he did on those pardons for crimes that haven't been committed or nobody knows. It's like whatever you've done from birth to death, you get a pardon. And you're going to see some generals go down in flames, and some of them stargazers, they need to be reduced to the lowest enlisted rank and DD discharged. You either for this country or against it, but there's no middle ground. And every real American should take a vow that he loves or she loves this country and willing to do whatever it takes for this country, American freedom, to survive in a real world environment.
All right.
We need a military not driven by policies to well, we got to have this, and we've got to be inclusive. You need a military that's the strongest on earth, the most powerful, that can project, prosecute, and win a world conflict anywhere. That's what we need. Roger that.
All
There
right.
you go. Love it.
Has checking in this morning. There you go. You, too, can be part of the show here at 601-485-9191. And, of course, we want to take a moment this morning, Rob, to tell people that if they'll put their brakes on around exit 1 and put the signal on first, then ease over in the right lane.
I was going to say,
Put your signal on, ease over to the right lane at exit 150 and take an exit there and just take a little break for breakfast at the Magnolia Restaurant.
absolutely. Of course, you know what their hours are at the Magnolia Restaurant.
I don't think they even have to have locks on the door. They never lock them.
Nope, because they're always open, folks, 24/7 down there off of exit 150. And looking at the lunch menu today, well, after breakfast, it's Thanksgiving on a plate today.
Turkey and dressing. Yeah. A little cranberry sauce.
Absolutely. How about chicken wings or beef liver with onions and gravy? How about some hamburger steak with onion and gravy, fried chicken? I mean, the list goes on. They also have those wonderful veggie plates as well. And, of course, the jalapeno cornbread. If you've never tried it, you need to try it down there at the Magnolia Restaurant. Of course, they got all the other sandwiches on the menu. You got po' boys and, of course, the Biggie Burger with fries. And what do we always say? It's huge down there at the Magnolia Restaurant, the Queen City Truck Stop. And, of course, you can always get your order to go there. But if you want to grab that, you can call it 601-482-0259. That's 601-482-0259. Great staff. They've always got Fox News on the tubes there inside of the restaurant. So go down there and enjoy yourself. And you're always going to run into somebody you know when you grab a meal down there off of exit 150. That's the Magnolia Restaurant, Queen City Truck Stop. Good home cooking. And, you're not going to have a bit left on your plate today. So go by and see them or call 482-0259.
Sounds good. You mean there's cornbread without jalapenos in it?
They got regular.
I didn't know they made such a thing.
They got regular and they got the hot stuff.
I'm always a jalapeno guy.
There you go.
To the phones we go. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Hey, good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Hey, morning.
Doing very well, thank you.
I know Has and Trump and all those are doing a lot for America, but I want to get a little closer to home. I'm still curious about where the money from the casinos and the lottery are that are not being spent on the schools and evidently on the bridges in the state of Mississippi. Now, somebody needs to get to the bottom of where all that money is, because they should have tons and tons of it.
We need a breakdown of the lottery money that comes to the state.
Hang on, let's call Shad. Oh, wait a minute. His
That's
power.
who I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Dad needs to be looking into that.
Yeah, I was going to say Shad White, line 1, please. So,
Yeah, but you think about it. Those casinos, they've been taking in money on the coast for close to going on 20 years now.
oh yeah.
Nobody ever mentioned anything about where all that tax money goes that they collect. And now we got the lottery. The lottery, with as much money as the lottery pulls in, every school in every 82 counties in the state of Mississippi ought to have a brand new school.
I remember that was the promise, not the so many words, but back in the 80s when they were making gambling legal in Mississippi, it was supposed to be the end-all answer for our educational problem.
So what was said?
Yeah.
Now, that was
anyway,
40 years ago.
just like to get a little closer to home sometimes. I love America, but sometimes we need to worry about where we are.
Mississippi. There you go. Thank you. Good call there. Good call.
All right, guys. Have a great
You too. Thank you. Appreciate it. You too can be part of the show, 601-485-9191. Put you right here.
I love it. Everybody ought to have a brand new school.
Gotta be a
Much lottery money's coming through.
with new shiny buses.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're headed toward, if Trump has his way, we'll be headed toward a time when you can choose what school you go to.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be totally cool?
Looks like the vegetation is promise. He said it on the campaign. He wants to shut that thing down. So, bye-bye.
And what he should have done, and I thought about this when they were showing the building, they should have gone through with cameras before he ordered everybody back to work.
Yeah.
And just showed all the empty offices, and then, you just give that tour of the building with no one in there, and then say, why do we need it?
There you go.
Because it had been empty.
Yeah.
How's everybody come work from home? Working my little bunny slippers. My little bunny slippers.
Sorry. I don't know where that came from.
Eat my Cheetos.
I don't have bunny slippers. Oh, boy. Hey, coming up on the show, folks, stay tuned because the director of the East Mississippi Business Development Corporation, EMBDC, as you've heard us say so many times, Mr. Bill Hanna is going to be here
All
with
right.
us. So he'll be talking a little bit about the recent announcement of the big project and perhaps the economic impact and what's going on around our area.
You mean talk about that data center?
What's that?
You know, I was a little confused when I first heard about it. They said daddy centers. And I said, well, Meridian is a daddy center.
Oh, no.
Then I misunderstood. Who's your daddy? I said data center. Oh, data center. Okay, there you go.
Man.
I'm sorry, that's low hanging fruit there.
So if they close the Department of Education, would that in a sense put more control, maybe localized, maybe with school systems? I mean, you talked about school choice there. I mean, obviously,
yeah.
I mean that's exactly what would happen.
You would
there.
have stuff like Common Core coming down the pipe, you know, saying this is what we want, or, you know, some sort of strange, unethical science book that says there is more than just two genders. You know, I don't know. You know, just think of all the kind of crazy stuff that can come down from Washington.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like, leave it local. What's the point? If you have a state educational department, then let the state handle it
And teach history how it happened instead of picking parts of that as you kind of go, which we've seen that done.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I know that sometimes history has two presentations, and somehow the truth is there in the middle somewhere. But
I mean, you think it's bad here with the way the policies have come down from the Department of Education. Just think about in other countries around the world how children are being taught history.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, basically propaganda all over the place. So, which we teach propaganda as well. So, but anyway.
I remember in high school we took Mississippi history and we
Yeah.
learned all about Mississippi.
Absolutely.
In fact, took field trips up to the battlefield in
Yeah,
Vicksburg.
done that
and,
too. Yeah.
I mean,
It was great.
Saw the plantations up in the Delta, just as part of a good educational tour about your state.
Yeah, learn everything about the Magnolia State. I think everybody should do that.
I was not made to feel guilty about the history. I was just asked to please learn a little bit about what happened in your state.
Exactly.
So there you
I
go.
like how you put that.
So that's what we did.
Don't feel guilty about what happened. It is what it is. We learn our history and we roll on.
I don't feel guilty about anything that happened before about 1970, 68 or 70. That's when I started remembering what I did wrong.
I'm about to say.
Yeah.
So
That's the stuff I feel guilty about. Not anything before me, I didn't have anything to do with it.
oh man.
Anyway, I really hate I took that pack of balloons from the pack-a-sack.
Did you really?
Feel bad about that.
When was that?
I don't think I ever made restitution of that either. I was about 8 years old.
You little thief.
Well, it was summer. You know, peer pressure is crazy. You know,
It doesn't matter.
we
Letter of
moved-
the law, you broke it.
We moved off the farm into the inner city of Alexandria, Louisiana,
There's a lot of peer pressure in Louisiana.
and the folks were at work, and we were having water balloon fights. It was a good summertime, and the kids in the neighborhood having a blast, and somebody had some balloons, but we ran out. We ran out of balloons.
He's 8 years old. He stole. Lock him up.
So we made a pact. We'd all take turns.
Oh, so this was a group project.
It
then.
was. It was. Yes, I know. I guess if the Philisac people are still in business, they might come to me for restitution of that. Wonder what a 35-cent pack of balloons with interest would be.
Oh Lord.
And who?
What would a pack of balloons cost now?
Yeah, I guess you hear about that price.
I wonder what the price is.
You know, but the funny thing about that was it was funny because the police found one of our friends got busted doing it. Not busted, but the police were looking for her up and down our neighborhood. So that's when I chose to go help my daddy paint on his job.
Nice.
And he was probably wondering why do you want to go help your dad all of a sudden? Been trying to get you to do that all summer. You seem pretty willing to go to work now. I didn't tell him the heat was on. Oh, well, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
Well, the Babylon Bee strikes again. I figured I would share this before we went to break here. Elon Musk donates $5.7 billion to charity, even though the government could have used it to fill 7 potholes.
Oh, man.
You know, I've always got to throw one of those at you every now and then.
I like that. What about that?
Or Elon.
Elon. That's
Elon.
right. Oh, Elon.
Oh, Elon.
That's the guy. All right. Well, it's Mornings in Meridian, and we want to say a big thank you for you being out there. Coming up on the show, as we promised, we know he's probably going to be here since he just walked into the studio. I think he's going to make it on time, and that is the EMBDC Executive Director or President, he's not wearing a badge, so I can't see what his title really is, but hey, let's just put it this way. Bill's going to be here next half hour.
That's right.
All right, so we'll have a good visit with him. And so you folks just stay tuned. And remember, young people, if you ever run out of balloons, you make sure you pay for the next bag.
Such a good example.
I learned from my mistakes.
Okay.
I'm an honest man. We're going to be right back. Stay tuned. Yes, you knew that already, but Phil Ehart, he is 74 years old today from that group. How about that?
Nice.
Got their first record deal by having a record executive come from New York down there to some small town in Kansas, and they offered free beer for anybody who wanted to come hear them.
I love it.
So they could have a house full of people. Had an old Masonic lodge or something like that they filled up, and they got a record deal.
I love it.
Cool story. It's what would we do without documentaries?
I know, right?
Anyway, that's a birthday there. Natalie Imbruglia, I like saying that name, 50 years old today. And, of course, country singer Clint Black is 63.
Hey, that's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one. And the lovely actress Gabrielle Anwar is 55.
You just like saying that name, too.
I do. Gabrielle Anwar. She was pretty spicy on Burn Notice, I'll tell you. You remember that series?
Vaguely.
Vaguely, okay.
Yeah.
You remember the woman that was dancing with Al Pacino in Sin of a Woman?
Oh, yeah. That's her. Okay.
Yep, I knew I could.
That fills in the blank.
There you go. You know what I'm talking about now. All right, well, there you go, folks. So happy birthday if today is your birthday as well. Hope it's a good one for you. Happy birthday to former Vice President Dan Quayle.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, look at you. He's 78.
He's on one today.
In just a moment, we're going to be visiting with EMBDC Director, President, Manager, Guy in Charge, Head Honcho, Bill Hanna, in just a moment. But first, let's say a big shout out to Jeffrey Wilson.
Oh, I tell you what, when you talk about insurance, State Farm Insurance with Jeffrey Wilson is the way to go. When you combine home and auto insurance with Jeffrey, you're going to save, on average, it's just an average number, folks, $889, and obviously that could be a lot more for you. And we know those premiums are going through the roof right now, but talk to Jeffrey about your insurance options down there at his office at 2401 Highway 39 North in Meridian. And when you go with Jeffrey Wilson, you're going with someone that is embedded in our community. Of course, he's involved in a lot of different organizations, the Downtown Optimist Club, the FCA. I mean, the list goes on. Jeffrey just loves his community. He loves Meridian, Lauderdale County, and he wants to give you an opportunity to save some money on your insurance. So combine home and auto today with Jeffrey Wilson, State Farm. His number is 601-483-8253. That is 601-483-8253. And once again, his office is located at 2401 Highway 39 North in Meridian. Like a good neighbor, it is Jeffrey Wilson, State Farm Insurance.
All right. According to the website of the East Mississippi Business Development Corporation, he is the president and CEO. And here he is, Mr. Bill Hanna.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome, sir. Welcome back to the studio.
It's good to be back. Jeffrey Wilson's a member of EMBDC.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a member of everything.
I think
He is.
I know, it's just amazing. But anyhow, here you are, sir. Of course, it's been a very high week for the folks of East Mississippi, and particularly the EMBDC as well.
It has.
So tell me, first of all, let's remind people who Bill Hanna is, because they may have actually caught a news clip accidentally, saw you talking about this, that, or the other. But first of all, Bill Hanna, and of course, you and your family, just introduce yourself to our audience.
We've been here, me and my family have been here almost 10 years now.
Well, 10 years? I remember when you arrived. I forget where you came from.
Yeah. We came from Tupelo.
Tupelo, okay.
Actually, that's where my boys grew up, was in Tupelo. So we were up there with General Construction Company, Jesco, and then Yates bought Jesco. And Yates wanted me to go back to Atlanta, which is where I was from, and we didn't really want to go back to Atlanta, so I hopped off. And
let that be a hint, folks. If you're from Atlanta and you don't want to go back to Atlanta,
yeah,
that tells you something right there.
Yeah,
that
so
tells you a lot.
Worked for about 10, 11 years at the Tupelo Daily Journal newspaper up there, which has about 1 million square feet of industrial space. That's the part that I did.
The industrial space part.
Worked up there with Lloyd Gray, actually. He was the editor at the time. Right.
Yeah, a good fellow Rotarian here in Meridian.
Yeah. Got back into economic development full-time when I moved to Meridian.
Well, and of course, You were saying off air that your boys that were raised in Tupelo live in Meridian.
They do. They do.
They
One of
must
them's
really
a
have to come.
doctor.
You must give them a lot of money and stuff that they have to.
Actually, no.
Oh well, that's great. I mean, I'm trying to think.
They do love their mother's cooking.
Oh, there it is.
That's every bit as good as any money. That's for
Actually,
sure.
they were with us night before last.
Good deal.
Yeah,
All right,
good.
and big shout out to the Hannah boys and their family. How's that?
That sounds good.
All right. Well, let's talk about your business, and that is the East Mississippi Business Development Corporation. Just kind of walk us through what is this organization and
yeah.
what's it supposed to be doing?
It's a lot of things, actually. We're the Chamber of Commerce for Lauderdale County. We have about 500 members, business members. So we're just like a local association. Our job is to take care of our members and help them grow and identify issues that can help, assist them in their growth. And so we're the Chamber of Commerce. We're also the Economic Development Organization for Lauderdale County, which pulls us into the projects that we work and the existing industries that we work with. We're also on Main Street. So Meridian Main Street is part of EMBDC. Matt Shanrock runs that for us. And then we're using really our facility, which is at 222nd Avenue, to kind of bring folks together. So the congressional office is in our building.
Oh, Charlie's there.
Charlie's
Oh,
there.
Charlie, yep.
Hey, Charlie.
And then
Nobody's listening.
Karen,
Better be listening.
Karen Kimbrell, who just moved back into our facility, is the Mississippi State Small Business Development Center
Okay.
person. So it's good to have her in there. And then hopefully soon, and I don't know that I'm saying something I ought not to, but hopefully
You're pretty good at not saying things
Right.
that you're not supposed to, because we try to get it out of you, and you're like,
Meridian Tourism.
So tourism, yes.
Is
So
moving
Laura,
into-
Laura Carmichael,
Laura
her
Carmichael's
office.
moving in.
Well,
Yeah.
awesome. Okay.
All right.
So we're able to use our facility to bring a host of folks together, and anyway, that's kind of what we do.
Is this so that you have more people to chip in for lunch, or something like that?
Actually, we end up buying more lunches than we do
Love that.
getting shipped in.
Supporting local businesses.
That's right.
I love it. Okay, I was just wondering how bring them all. Hey, if we got more people here, we could have more people chip in for lunch. But no, that's a good area. I mean, you're right there on 22nd Avenue. I mean,
Oh, man, it's perfect.
Yeah,
It's
right
so
next
good.
door to Weidman's, and there you go. All right, I know that the big story, and we're getting to that, as people can tell, we're building up to it. But before we get to the big story, can you maybe just give us a quick announcement of maybe a local success story you've had in the years that you've been here, and then maybe a success of another business, not the big one we're going to talk about, but another business coming to Meridian. What are some of the highlights you've had in your 10 years at EMBDC?
Maybe the one that people know the most, which is maybe the most recent, is we were working with what used to be Progressive Pipeline,
Yes.
name changed to Castle,
Right.
and I got a call one day that they were looking around for space and that they were contemplating moving to Houston.
Ooh.
Because that's where they do a lot of their work. out in
Sure, yeah.
Texas, Kansas, and up the Midwest. And so
I've gotten a W-2 from them years ago.
Oh, did you?
Years ago.
So we worked with them, showed them some space around town. They didn't really like any of it. We were in our building, in our offices, and Mike Castle said, this is kind of what we're looking for. And so I said, all right, well, why don't you just take our office space? And he said, well, I'd get run out of town if I take your office space because y'all just moved in and we're here to help grow companies. And I said, that's exactly why you need to take our office space. If you need it, that's what we're here to do.
We want you here instead of Houston.
Exactly.
Bingo.
And so they actually moved into our space, took our second floor, and they were there about 2.5 years while they were looking around and finding and then developing the building that they're currently in, which is the Melton Hardware Building, actually right across the street from where our office is. That's, Castle is very, very active, all their employees in the community, in leadership positions everywhere.
Right.
And then they financially support many of our nonprofits. And they have their own issues that they're working and supporting. And so it was just a really good win for our community to keep them here.
And having worked with them just on a small scale back when they were progressive, I happen to know they do projects all over the country.
They do.
All over the country.
Yeah, they do.
So it's kind of interesting that Meridian is a hub for a business of that magnitude.
And
and there are more businesses like that.
There are tons of businesses like, they're just another local industry that happens to be privately held and locally owned. And what we gain from those, which there are many, many, that's one of the unique, actually, features of Meridian, is most of our industries are privately held and locally owned. What you get in addition to their investment and their interest in our community is you get their leadership in all of these different nonprofits, which is significant.
A couple of companies that come to my mind that arrived not long ago, a company that arrived not long ago is BWI.
Yeah, BWI was looking here and in Montgomery, and we were fortunate to work out a deal with them on some property that Terry Winstead owned, actually. I call it Industrial Park Drive. I'm not sure what it is on the west side of 45. But anyway, that's where they're headquartered. Where they're located.
Up in Meridian up there.
Right.
Yep. So we have some things. These are things that when they happened, they were very, very knowledgeable. But people were knowledgeable of it, and they realized, hey, this is something. Okay, yay, we did that.
Right.
Some companies, I think that local companies that have benefited also. I love going down the interstate and seeing that big Southern Pipe sign on what used to be the Handy Hardware warehouse. That was what we thought was a grand catch there at the time until the economy went to South America.
Right. That whole process of Southern Pipe moving into that building was a really significant, good deal for Southern Pipe, which is a really good, significant deal for Meridian and Lauderdale County to keep them focused here. They had the opportunity to go north of Atlanta with the space. Again, a lot of this we really don't get out and trumpet,
right?
But
that's why I'm here, Bill.
Thank you. Many of our local industries, they grow. They just don't. It's not $100 million in 100,000 square feet. They are growing every year. They'll add 5 or 10,000 square feet. They'll add 5 or 10 or 15 people, which is actually for a community just it's premier growth. It's the way you really want to grow.
So you have these are some great stories, and of course, were you here when the Atlas project was? We were trying to make sure that Atlas was accommodated with the closure of Valley Drive and all this other. It was very controversial, but it was kind of helping Atlas kind of keep their base going here.
Yeah, and we sadly Brad Pardon just passed away, but he was their VP that was very involved in that whole process of reworking that northern entrance into their facility.
So these are things that we've had some successes, or I guess what I'm trying to say is you've had some good things happen within local industries, within the occasional attraction of we might accidentally catch a new business, again, mentioning BWI. But now we have something called Compass Data Centers, and that's a very interesting name, and I've been to the celebration at the Riley Center announcing the thing, and I'm still not sure if I know what all it is. So walk us through this. Tell us, first of all, what it is, And then tell us how they got here.
What it is a it's going to be an 8-building campus of data centers. So 250-ish thousand square feet each building.
Mm-hmm.
They've purchased 300, give or take 300 acres in the I-2059 industrial park. They're going to use every inch of it.
Wow. I drive by it on the way home. It's a lot of land.
It is a lot of land. There's significant work that was done on the site to prepare it. There's significant work to do on the site to get it to where it's usable for them. But Compass is a different terms, that we've heard over the last year and a half, whether it's a developer or a co-locator, or, in my mind, just put it simply, they're putting a deal together, and then they have basically 5 or 6 customers that they work with, and they're the large hyperscalers that Google, Microsoft, AWS, that group of companies. They put this deal together, and then they go sell it to one of those companies, and those companies are out doing it as well, as A.J. Byers mentioned in his comments. But they just can't get enough quick enough. So they're doing their own deal, and then they're working with some of these companies like Compass to secure power and land as well.
Secure power, land, and I guess what it amounts to is just a lot of, I call it big computer storage. Where a lot of stuff, just information is processed and stored.
Buildings with just rows and rows and rows of servers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really what it is.
And of course, I was told at the meeting, described to us that the amount of electricity that's going to be used by this is that it's equivalent to, say, 500 Walmart superstores. That's kind of the measurement there. So yeah, they do need a lot of power, which Mississippi Power, I'm sure, is very grateful that they're coming here.
So it's a huge deal for Meridian, Lauderdale County. It is also a huge deal for Mississippi Power. As Anthony Wilson mentioned, their largest customer to date is Chevron, and this is equivalent to 2 Chevrons. So it's a 500 megawatt load for them.
Now, folks, that ain't the corner station down there. That's this is the big refinery down on the coast there in Pascagoula. So
that's right.
So equivalent to 2 of those, I guess you might say.
So this is going to bring jobs, obviously, to our area. About what number are we looking at there?
So they'll be building, depending on how they build this out, 5 to 7, 8 years to be out there building.
Right.
And we're projecting about 1,000 construction jobs for that period of time.
Wow.
And then, it's probably going to be, the numbers are evolving, but about 50 people, full-time employees per building.
Per building, okay.
So it's not a lot, but when you put 8 of them, that's 400 people out there making significant money.
Wow.
It's great. Again, it's great for our economy, local economy. It'll be certainly a driver.
All right.
Wow.
Want to get a little bit more now that we're at this stage of the progress. There's all these things you can't talk about. Hey, we're working on something big, but we can't talk about it. Hey, something big's coming, but we can't talk about it. Now we can kind of look back, and you can kind of walk us through how we got that. I thought we had a caller on the line. I was going to go there, but kind of walk us through how did Compass find us, or how did you find them, or how did this all happen?
Compass found us through Mississippi Power. So Mississippi Power, again, a lot of folks you're not in it every day, so you don't understand it, but we have advocates that are out selling that we benefit from their efforts, and Mississippi Power is one of those.
Gotcha.
So Mississippi Power, Norfolk Southern, Kansas City, CPKC, the state of Mississippi, Atmos, All of those entities are out selling their services, and if and when a significant customer comes that needs their services, and we're included in their service territory, then we get the benefit of their effort, their marketing and selling effort, and that's what happened in this case with Mississippi Power.
So then, if they hand something over to you, then what is your job in that process?
Just don't screw it up.
That's a good oh man.
Mississippi Power has,
Transparency. That's what we're all about here. Just transparency.
it just is. I mean, Mississippi Power is significant for us. They're the Southeast Mississippi is basically their service territory. MEPA is buys power from them as well.
Exactly.
And so they're trying to get companies into their service territory. We're in the northern part of their service territory. Fortunately for us, several years ago, Mississippi Power invested about $4 or $5 million and put a 40 megawatt substation in our new industrial park, which back then was the new industrial park.
I remember it was April 2020. I remember all the dirt trucks going by the house. Lots of dirt being hauled.
So that was another, I mean, there are a lot of people over the last 20 years, 25 years, who've done significant things to prepare us for campus data centers to show up. And that was one of them. And Mississippi Power brought us the project, and they showed them other places in their service territory as well. It just happened that this 300 acres is exactly what they wanted, and it's on I-20, which is, as AJ was mentioning, or Bobby Kutsaris was mentioning that there's this fiber backbone from Dallas to Atlanta on I-20. I mean, everything just worked out really, really well for us.
Well, that's fantastic. Of course, I know that, and then I was actually surprised. They put a map up of where Compass has presence around this country and around the world.
Right.
And I was thinking there's just a little office in Dallas that's running this thing, but it's pretty big.
It's a significant company.
Where is their home base, actually?
They're headquartered in Dallas.
Okay.
They have a large presence in Toronto. They purchased a couple of.
Ooh, I bet they're mad up there right now.
Well,
Never mind. That's a whole different story.
Different story.
Yeah.
I think it worked out yesterday. or
Okay,
something.
good.
Anyway,
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Just don't mess it up.
They
Yeah. So
they
that's
bought
good.
a couple of data center companies out of Canada.
I see.
So that's
I see.
why they're not headquartered up there, but they have a
Work
presence
up there.
in Canada as well.
So this is good. Jobs that could, of course, like you said, about 1,000 construction jobs initially, and then
We've been out to Red Oak, Texas, which is basically South Dallas.
okay,
They're building a 12-building campus right now out there, and they're probably on buildings 10, 9 and 10 maybe.
okay.
But we've been out there several times.
So you see what this looks like firsthand.
We have, and they have about 1,600 people out there working.
All right.
It'll be a portion of that, but a significant portion.
Very good. Well, it's good that they're here. Of course, like you said, it's kind of nice to kind of feel like you've got a lot of teamwork out there, and it makes sense to me that these utilities are out there helping attract business because they they become the vendors and they make money. I get it.
Everybody plays a part.
And then I guess the MBDC then is there to kind of pull some of the local pieces together and present the package and all that good stuff.
So, I mean, technically, we're the economic development organization for Lauderdale County. So when Mississippi Power, Atmos, Norfolk Southern, CPKC, any of those entities bring projects to Lauderdale County, we're the organization that basically works the project. Puts them in front of our local leaders, supplies them with information that they need on site. We work, the county's engineer of record is Engineering Plus. They were significantly involved in this. They are the firm that designed the industrial park a long time ago, and then they've been involved in the civil part of this project as well.
Right.
Good deal.
Well, I mean, this is definitely, you call it feather in the cap or congratulations, whatever you want to call it. But the point is, this is a win for a lot of people here in East Central Mississippi.
It is, and it's easy to oversee all the people who have been involved because some of the older folks that were involved in the purchase of the property 25 years ago, some of them have passed away. Some of them are retired and just not as active. But we owe them a great debt of gratitude, as well as, the city's invested in that industrial park over the years with water and sewer.
The state.
The state has. The county is the holder and owner of the property, and that's actually we're in these projects where we're showing sites. EMBDC's role is basically we're there to coordinate and facilitate, but we're also there as a salesperson for the county. I mean, it's the county's property.
Yeah.
So this deal would not have been done if the county, the Board of Supervisors, were very, very active with this project all the way through. So,
Yeah, we had JJ in here under bright lights, and we were dehydrating him and everything, just trying to see if we could get him to answer, but he wouldn't crack. We couldn't get it out of him. We really couldn't.
JJ has stepped into the president's role of the Board of Supervisors.
Yeah.
But that's a rotating position, as y'all know.
Well, we'll put him in the lights
So,
again.
yeah.
Yeah.
Rubber hose.
Yep, everything.
Kyle, Josh, Joe, they've all been that position before, and over the years have they're just a really good group to work with. We've got a newer one, Craig Houston,
Yeah.
who's not been in the position yet, but I'm sure he will be soon.
Sure. All right. Well, again, this is something to celebrate. I guess at this point we can ask when do we start seeing the trucks and the cranes show up?
Yeah. So we had our announcement. It was a week ago today, right?
Yeah.
And probably 3 hours after that event, I started getting phone calls about, so when is this going to start? And vendors and service providers from all over calling, probably had heard something about the project, but really didn't know exactly if it was going to happen or not. So our role, I think, is to promote local. We want our local contractors and service providers to benefit from this project. But there are people who follow these types of projects all over the country that are calling and wanting to be part of it. So there's going to be a significant dirt work package probably in the next 2-3 months. And that'll be what you see first out there. If you go by, and you say you go by every day, there's a huge dirt mound. It's got about 1,000,002 cubic yards of dirt in it that has to be spread across the entire site. As that happens, that mound goes down, and that becomes part of the site.
Yeah.
So, as I said earlier, these buildings are literally over every inch of that 300 acres.
They showed how they prefab the buildings and bring them in and erect them, and it's so there's not necessarily a lot of contracting for building ground up because it's already made, but there's going to be other things needed, like you said, dirt work and probably slab work and things like that.
And electrical's huge.
Electrical. Oh,
That's
yeah.
going to be a big one, obviously. Yeah.
I got a belt in the car and some pliers and
Well, they'll get you.
a tester.
They'll get you
So
because they're going to need everybody they
I could help.
Yeah.
yeah, I can
Roll on out there.
I can pull my pants down to just above the crack there. I can. Yes, indeed. I'm sorry. If you're listening and we're offended, well, that's the way it is.
It's just another day.
Another day. That's right. No, that's very good. So we're going to start seeing action on this very, very quickly.
Yes. I mean, quickly. It's so the company.
I mean, there's work going on right now that the county's doing.
That's right.
I get that.
AJ Byers mentioned that this was if not the fastest, one of the fastest projects they've worked on from beginning to end. And you say that, and we've been working on it for about 12 months, so it just doesn't seem fast. But there's so many elements to it, and it's so large, so many parties involved in it.
Yeah.
It did move fast. So when you say it's going to move quickly, probably within the next 2 or 3 months, you'll start seeing a lot of dirt work going on.
Gotcha.
And then pretty quickly, you'll start seeing something going vertical,
Yeah.
which is what everybody's waiting on.
Excellent. Well, there you go. And then, again, I may have missed it. Rob was talking about jobs. Once it's up and going, do they have a figure of how many jobs it will incorporate there?
Yeah,
keep
what
it
I mentioned
running?
is it's an evolving number.
Sure, the numbers,
but
yeah.
I think in the ballpark of 40 or 50 per building, full-time employees is kind of what we're expecting.
And it's an 8-building campus.
That's right.
So there you go. That gives you kind of an idea, ballpark figure. So
Right.
good deal.
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bill, this has been, I'll tell you what I'd like for you to share, though, because, you know, for those who have pictured you, you know, sitting up in your office, tapping the desk, waiting for this to come along,
Right.
and you know what I'm saying,
Right.
Here we go.
and just taking people to lunch and then coming back and tapping on the desk some more.
Right.
I'd like for you to just give a little hint of the projects that you have spent a good bit of time on, and the projects chose to go elsewhere. I mean, this is something that how many of those type of projects have you dealt with in these 10 years?
Goodness, a lot. So typically, we're in a very almost hyper competitive environment where it's not. Again, there are reasons why they're looking in Meridian and Lauderdale County, and depending on what manufacturer they are, if they're a heavy power user, it's because if they're a heavy user, it's because Norfolk Southern or CPK is here, or CPKC, or it's because we're on I-20, or it could be because some industry. We've had several corrugated box plants look at us, and the two that went the farthest on this were doing food grade boxes for the chicken industry.
I see.
So there's chickens all around us, in Alabama and in Mississippi. Evidently, there's a need there. Those projects neither of those projects made. So it's not only that we'd lose all these projects, many of these projects just don't happen. They get out, they start looking, things change in their industry, their customer base change.
They just decide not to do it.
Yeah, and they, for one reason or another, they just don't do the project.
Mm-hmm.
So in 10 years, I would guess we've worked 200 projects.
Wow. There you go.
And they're coming in from the state of Mississippi Development Authority most of the time.
Yeah.
Or from one of these service providers. Probably in that number, I mean, I don't know, maybe half didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so you work it for 6 or 8 months, and then they just call and say, we've decided to put it on hold for a year.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah. So it's highly competitive. It's very time intensive.
Mm-hmm.
You have to and you're sitting there supplying information to all these different industries, and every one of them have different things that they want to know about your community. And
So
that's a lot of the work that we do.
When you get this call, are there any holes in the wall that have to be patched or anything that,
No,
after you get those calls
just,
like that?
There's
Hey, doctor, look at my toe. I just jammed it on the...
right. It's almost like
I'm having some fun with the idea, but that does have to be frustrating.
Well, there's a team of people that work all these projects, from the state, from the county, from the service provider. So it's not like I'm out there doing it all by myself. We're part of a pretty significant team. Many times, Meridian Community College is part of this because they're talking. Some of these companies they go straight to workforce and they want to know how you're going to train their people, and so it's a team of people. We all get frustrated, but as soon as this one disappears, somebody else shows up.
Well, there you go. And I have a feeling, based on what you have said, but also what we kind of sense, once this project gets underway, then, like you said, the phone's already ringing.
So the work is just about to begin. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been working for a year to get them here
Right.
and to announce it and locate it, and now the real work begins.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other projects that we're working, and we can't not work those.
And you
Right.
can't tell us what those are, can you?
So not yet.
Okay, well, that's good.
You knew what was going to happen.
I know,
there.
but I had to ask,
You had to do it. You had-
doing my
you-
job,
doing
doing my
your
job.
yeah.
Suffice it to say, we're busy.
Well, good.
It's a busy time. Mississippi's a great place to be. Lauderdale County is a great place to be. This announcement, as anyone would suspect, breeds others. Our activity will pick up. It will pick up, and I'm sure some others will announce because of this.
All right. Well, we have been visiting with Bill Hanna. He's the CEO of the East Mississippi Business Development Corporation, the EMBDC. You've heard a lot of that acronym over the years, but here he is. We're all celebrating a victory for our area with Compass Data Centers coming in. So, again, congratulations, but let's just slap everybody on the back and let's move forward.
Exactly.
And just want to let you know we did blow through Fox News on account of you being here. I don't want you to think that we'll do that every time you come.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, but we just thought it was that important.
Well, thank you.
All righty. Well, folks, that concludes our visit with Bill Hanna, and we appreciate him taking time to kind of come in and fill us in. But I think that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
200 projects that have been
Absolutely.
worked here by this organization over 10 years. That's
Fantastic.
That's significant.
That's
That is
right.
significant. All right. Well, we'll again thank you, Bill. I know you're busy, so we'll
Thank you.
let you get back to work. We're going to take a break, and we need to pay a couple of bills of our own so that we can stay part of the East Mississippi Business Development Corporation. We'll be right back. That's what we've been talking about. Bill Hanna
Yep.
has left the building, but glad he stopped by to visit with us and talk a little bit about the Daddy Center.
The Daddy Center.
You laughed when I said
That's
that.
a lot of computers up in that place, a lot of servers.
I said Meridian already is a Daddy Center. Oh, mercy. Here's the deal. We've got a lot of great businesses here in town, and a lot of them are kind enough to help us stay on the air here. And I am so thankful, and we really love the folks down there at Trucker Supply, because you go down there and they have all that you need by way of tools or truck parts or things around the house, from gas cans to pressure washers and they'll make custom fit hydraulic high pressure hoses for your machinery. It's all there. You go in there. You could be a housewife, walk into Trucker Supply, and you'd find something you need.
You know, it was a good story. Last week, I had a little problem with one of my tires on my vehicle, and
Yes.
I'm like, okay, there's something in, I'll have to go get it patched up. But I did have one of those roadside kits in the back of my vehicle that came in really handy, and they sell those down there at Trucker Supplies.
Put some air in that tire, did you?
Absolutely. Again, we got it taken care of. But those kits, they have those and many other great things at Trucker Supply. Of course, we always have to have an excuse to say Knippix here on Mornings in Meridian. So,
German engineered tools.
like Genelux and steroids, that's right. Of course, Milwaukee, the big wall of Milwaukee tools is huge.
It's like, man, that's the only time I really like seeing red.
I'm wearing red.
Well, okay, 2 times I like seeing red.
Also, the Yeti products as well. They got mugs and all the Yeti products you can imagine. Of course, you mentioned pressure washers. Hotsy.
Yes.
Those Hotsy ones down there. And, it is getting close to springtime, so pressure washing season is almost here.
Don't remind me.
I know, but you're going to get it done because you got that Hotsy pressure washer.
One pull and it starts up, and I'm running. I love it.
519 Highway 19 South. Go by and see them. Of course, they've got red, white, and blue all over the place down there at Trucker Supply. And also, one of my favorite signs at Truckers is on the front door. Just go by and check and see what I'm talking about. Tool Central at 519 Highway 19 South, next door to the Golden Arches. That's Truckers.
Oh, yes. All right. It's Mornings in Meridian. If you'd like to be a part of the show, you're welcome to do that. Give us a call at 601-485-9191, 601-485-9191. Put you right here with us.
So 1,000 construction type jobs, and of course, that number of the 8 buildings there on the site there, that number will kind of vary a little bit by each bit. What about 40 positions?
40, 45 per building,
yeah,
they said.
per building. So.
And again, these buildings are going to be built over, a couple of years, I probably maybe 3 or 4 years for it.
Sure,
From what I'm
sure.
understanding. So, it's going to be kind of a evolving project.
And bring the naysayers in. Why ain't it done yet? What's going on here?
We'll
I mean, what are they doing?
Yep, they. What I could do, that'll be about the time I want to retire, probably, and then I'll just go be a night guard.
You can go babysit some servers.
I'll go be a guard,
Go guard the data.
like Asa, like Asa at the bank.
Go guard the data.
I'm a daddy guard. I'm a data guard. Yeah, that's what I am, a data guard. Love it. Don't you come near here. Mornings in Meridian. Let's take a phone call. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Hey, good morning, Lefty here.
Hey, how you doing?
I think y'all can probably quit calling me Lefty. I think I'm back to where I used to be.
We're going to go back to calling him Knucklehead again?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
no, he Larry, whatever.
Be like, hey, you.
Hey, you. That's
Yeah.
right.
Hey, dude. Yeah. Dude. I answer to a lot of names. Did I hear that Mr. Hanna say correctly that this place is going to use the energy of about 500 Walmart supercenters?
Yes, sir.
You heard correctly.
That's unreal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Good
blew my mind.
Lord. 500 of them, huh? That's
Mm-hmm.
no wonder Mississippi Power said, "Hey, we need to talk to you."
Yeah, where do we
Y'all need
sign?
Because my cousin sent them to me, so y'all need some power.
Power. Get the power. Talk to the power company.
That's what they said when I was talking to them. They said they had to mail off the power bill. I'm like, the what? Yeah, the power bill. But anyway, that's I thought I heard that correctly, but man, that's a lot of juice.
That's right.
A lot of juice.
For some reason, it just popped in my mind that story that Billy Jack used to tell about his dad when the power was going out in the country. The cooperatives were going to be putting out poles. Mm-hmm. Well, they went ahead and was getting money from all the residents to. Not that his dad was doing that. Somebody was doing that, going up to the residents and getting them to pay for the poles. Well, for the power cut, we're going to be bringing some poles down here. Just want to make sure that's X number of dollars per pole. And
all right.
I don't know. He'd have to come in and tell that story. I don't want to incriminate anybody. It's hilarious.
I heard a joke one time. They had some fellow married a Yankee girl and brought her down here, and they had a bunch of power poles or something. Said, "Yeah, this is a toothpick farm." Oh, okay. Making toothpicks out of them. Like, all right.
Toothpick farm.
It was something to that effect.
That's something.
I'll blow a joke quicker than anybody. But,
well, I'm glad I'm glad you're telling me that your shoulder is about 100%. So that's good news for you.
Yeah,
that's good.
It really is. I just can't. I can't reach around as far as I can before. Now my left arm I can, about reach around, touch the other side of my cut. But hey, for if that's all that's the drawback to having it done, shoot, man, I'm telling you right now, no popping, cracking, hurting. It's
and if you'll stay out of those bars,
$6 million man in about 5 more years. All I got left to do is my hips and my knees.
Now just stay out of those bar fights, and you won't have to have that surgery anymore. I know.
I stayed out of those bar fights when they broke out. I'll tell you, I found me a good-looking corner.
I was about to say, oh, you were the guy behind the jukebox. Okay, that was you.
He acted like he was looking for something.
I employed duck and cover real quick.
Duck and cover. Look at you.
All right, y'all. Well, I'm listening, but I just want to make sure I heard that right.
Yeah, you did.
That's a lot of power, buddy. Man, that's incredible. 500 superstores.
Mm-hmm. Which that'd be like 1,500 radio stations? I don't know.
Got any other news?
Yeah, I got all kind of news. Marco Rubio is on the right job. Let's see. We got Pete Hegseth. He's on the right job.
Him and Tom Homan.
Tom Homan's on the right job. Donald Trump's on the right job.
I bet they have to chain him up at 5 o'clock every day. Put him back on his chain.
If the Democrats
He is like a human bulldog, getting in like,
if the
where are they at? Let's load them up rawhide.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's some of the news. Anyway, good to hear from you, Lefty.
It's nice to have a press secretary that's not minister of propaganda. At least we're getting told the truth.
I love it.
Instead of Howdy Doody up there and the Raggedy Ann before her. But
I'm still waiting. After at least 2 weeks of her being the press secretary, I'm waiting for her to say or She don't really say a lot.
Let me get my notepad out. Where's my journal?
Yeah. I know she had some notes the other day, but she don't have that big thick a volume of notebook, the volume that she has to the previous one had. Anyway, hey, good to hear from you, sir. Thanks for the report, and we won't call you, Lefty, if you want us to stop.
No, I don't care. I've been called worse.
Yeah, I like Lefty better than worse. All right. Got another caller coming behind you, bud.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
Yes, sir. All right.
Yeah. Do have some breaking news this morning from the Department of Justice. Yesterday announced that it was forming a multi-agency task force to counter anti-Semitism in schools and on college campuses. The task force will be headed by my man, Leo Terrell, a senior counsel to the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights, and will be coordinated through the DOJ Civil Rights Division. So, of course, you've seen Leo Terrell a good bit on Fox News. He's Leo 2.0. He's always got his MAGA hat on. So,
if you get near Washington, D.C., and you hear this sound going... That's the swamp being drained.
That's right.
Oh, love it.
So there you go. So Leo Terrell getting into that bit of weeds right there. So
it's happening.
That's right.
And of course we have the red, white, and greens protesting over in in Los Angeles.
And somebody's giving Marco Rubio a new nickname. You know, Trump when Trump his first term, he called him Little Marco.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden he's Big Marco.
He's Big Marco
Big
now.
Marco now.
Oh man, I listened to his interview down about the U.S. aid, USAID, American Waste Your Money Development Corporation.
It's
there.
Big Marco.
Oh, it's bad. Yeah, I am glad that we're going to. You know what? And my wife said this. We're going to save a bunch of money.
I like it.
We're going to save a bunch of money. All right, let's take a phone call. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, Roger and Rob. How are you today?
Mr. Mayor.
Hey, Mr. Mayor, doing very well, thank you.
Drain the swamp and drill, baby, drill.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I got a question and a comment. I heard a story on Fox, I think it's Glenn Beck, I'm not sure, 2 or 3 days ago, and he just had a short, quick story about the Shroud of Turin. That's a cloth, they think Jesus was wrapped in.
Right.
He said they had done another test on it. It was more accurate than the carbon dating was. And the carbon dating, they had tested some of the outer edges of it, which had been burned and restored, and it really was not the same material as the original. But anyway, the new test indicated that the Shroud of Turin is 2,000 years old. Now, I was just curious to know why none of that's the only news report I've heard anybody comment on it, but that's paramount news. And some of the things they found on it was indicative of the springtime over there in Jerusalem in the Middle East where he was crucified. Pollen and seeds and different stuff was indicative of what was prevalent in the springtime of the year over there at that time. And I just wonder why. Has anybody else heard about that, or am I the only one who's listened to his report? His real brief report, and then he went on to something else and didn't, elaborate a whole lot.
Yeah, I missed that. I had to go to another one of my W-2 suppliers after we got off the air here.
Oh, man, well, you just amazing person that has 4, 5, 6 jobs that you could draw money from. Just like us retired folks, we just sit there and wait for that check to come in, and it's kind of spread it out so it'll go. I was thinking about maybe I need to get me a new job. I was thinking about being a numismatic, and if I'm practicing, am I numismaticer or numismatic when I'm doing the trade?
No, yeah. I'm sorry. You lost me on that one there, Mayor.
That's a magician.
Oh, a magician. I got you.
But anyway, one other comment.
Yes, sir.
Anybody that wants to go to the VFW Post 79 dance Saturday night, this Saturday night, that's week before Valentine's Day, the first 10 people that come to the door and say, Kilroy was here, get in free. The first 10. They got that password.
The password.
Kilroy was here.
Kilroy was here. First 10 people get in free. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Okay. And some of you younger folks don't know who Kilroy was, but the older guys do.
There you go. That's right.
Yeah, I'll let you wonder on that. But anyway, thank you so much. Having a great party, a great comment today at your show, and I hope everyone has a great day.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Benny. Mayor of Sucalina checking in. That's always good to hear from him. We're going to take a quick break, come back with more of Mornings in Meridian, and we'll be back right after this. We'll take more of your calls. That number, 601-485-9191. Roger and Rob today. Charles had to be away, but he'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
to Mornings in Meridian. Yeah, back in the turn of the century there, you heard Natalie Imbruglia. She's now 50 years old.
Wow.
So happy birthday, Natalie. She's also an actress, isn't she? She played in
think
that.
She's been in a couple things.
I think they're with Mr. Atkinson. Is that his name?
Rowan?
Rowan?
Oh.
Was she in that?
You mean Uncle Rowan?
It was that. I don't know, something. It was a movie.
It was that thing.
Protecting the Queen or something.
It was that thingamabob.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, she's 50. Let's see, other birthdays include, let's see, how about Clint Black, 63? I'm going to find me a Clint Black record and put it on. And then, let's see, NFL Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor.
Hey.
LT is 66
LT.
today.
They could sack you.
Hey, Dallas called. They want you back.
They'll take anybody right now.
They'll take you at 66, LT. Oh, man. Okay. And, of course, those are some of the... If it's your birthday today here on the 4th day of February, just get yourself something nice. Our show is brought to you by some good folks. I'm talking about, well, you know the good folks I'm talking about.
Talking about Doug and Doug and Doug.
The Martins.
The Martins and Stacy.
That's right.
That's right. Because when Doug Jr. jumps up there on that roof, he comes Superman and gets all those measurements down to Stacy, and they're good to go. But yeah, Martin Roofing
measures it right down to the
absolutely.
Yep.
And roofing done right for 30+ years, folks. They're locally owned and operated, licensed right here in the state, and they stand behind all of their work from start through cleanup. And they've got all those roofing applications, shingle, commercial roofing, you name it, they've got it. And they're members of the Better Business Bureau as well. Call them today at 601-485-5920. That is 601-485-5920. Don't trust the door knockers. They're going to come around and say, hey.
I can fix your roof for you.
Listen here, boy, I'm going to fix your roof here for you.
You don't mind if I smoke while I talk to you, do you?
Exactly. So go with the professionals. That is Martin Roofing. 601-485-5920 at Martin Roofing.
There you go. The door knockers. Yeah. I can fix that roof for you. Yeah. You don't have anything to drink in there, do you?
I think I'm going to eyeball these measurements. I think you're going to be all right.
I think, yeah. Looks like. We can go on and on. Let's take a phone call here at Mornings in Meridian. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
You go ahead and pay me for that roof repair, and I'm going to go get some materials.
That's right. Just go. I'll be back in an hour. Just hang on for a minute. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Don't make it back by Tuesday. You know, it's
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Lawrence Taylor.
Yes.
It's etched indelibly in my mind a football game that I was watching on television.
Mm.
The New York Giants were playing the Washington Redskins.
Mm.
And Joe Theismann, the quarterback for the Redskins, was injured pretty bad. The first guy over him calling for help was the opponent's Lawrence Taylor.
Really?
I remember that injury. That was gruesome.
You're talking about his broken leg. Yeah.
Oh, man.
That was. Ooh.
I cringed every time they.
I'm cringing just talking about it because I remember it's like
his leg
bent in a direction it ain't supposed to.
Ooh. That's exactly right. But Lawrence Taylor realized it right away, and he was the first one to call for help. So.
Yeah, that was
just a memory.
Back when you could call the. I wonder if Trump's going to rename the Washington team back to the Redskins.
I don't know, but do you know there was a time in Meridian, Mississippi when that was the only NFL game we got was the Washington Redskins games?
Seriously?
How about that?
That's exactly right.
I wonder why that was.
Little Eddie LeBaron, the quarterback for the Redskins. I loved him, and then later on he went to play for the Cowboys.
Okay, okay.
But, anyway, just a memory. I won't run my meter.
No, that's fine. I like strolling down memory lane there with you, Jimmy. So don't worry about that at all, because you remember where stuff was.
Well, yeah, most of the time. I remember a whole lot better.
You just
I've been digging in my backyard now for 2 weeks trying to find out.
Trying to get them U-Band coffee cans.
Yeah, absolutely,
full of your retirement money.
Hey. All right, you guys have a great Tuesday.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. LT, I guess I knew he played for Dallas. I didn't know LT played for.
No, he was always a Giant. Yeah, he was always New York Giant.
Okay, well, why was I thinking Cal? See, that's why I can't remember.
See, I've always as far as because he played defensive end for the Giants, and I've always the two guys to me best defenders at that position were him and Reggie White, in my opinion. I mean, there's other great ones out there that were awesome, but those two just always stick out in my mind. There's been all kind of great players in the NFL, but yeah, Lawrence. I remember that injury. Ooh, gosh. When you think about it, everybody kind of cringes like, "Oh, Joe, your leg!" Ah!
Oh yeah, I think about it right now, and it just gives me the
probably one of the most gruesome injuries you'll probably ever see on a football field.
Well, that's exactly it.
Yeah, I was reading this a minute ago. You know, you talked about the federal workers who have been working from home. Charlie Kirk put this up on X just a few minutes ago. 20,000 federal workers have taken that buyout offer that Trump put on the table.
8 months of work, yeah.
But here's the thing. This will blow your mind. That's 20,000 federal workers. But that represents just 1% of the overall workforce. More expected to take the deal, but every year the attrition rate of the federal workforce is 6%. The hiring freeze will arguably be more effective than a buyout.
Yeah,
6%. But that number right there is just like, wow, that many folks. So, but yeah, he put those numbers out this morning. That just kind of stood out to me. Wow. 20,000 have taken the buyout. That's just 1% of that overall workforce in the federal government. So,
well, I guess I would even thought less because there's just got to be so many federal employees and all the rest out there. But again, like I say, if they had just taken cameras through the Department of Education, with everybody working at home, they would realize, hey, we just don't.
And also, another executive order is expected to come down the pipe today from the White House. Of course, the bill I think passed through one chamber. I think it passed through the House. It's still kind of stuck over in the Senate, and that's the bill with women's sports. It looks like that Trump will sign an executive order today keeping men out of women's sports.
Yay!
So, once again, something you shouldn't have to do.
You should not even have to think about it.
But more common sense things for America. And that, of all the things that we always say common sense, to me, that has always been one of the top 3 or 4 for me that is the most common sense. I mean, that's a come on, man moment. But, yeah, he's going to sign that executive order today. So,
well, we are moving right along here this morning. Again, a big thank you to Bill Hanna from the EMBDC coming by and spending some time kind of briefing us and filling us in a little bit on the not just the project of the Compass Data Center and the big 8 buildings that are supposed to be on that property there. That's the county's industrial park. But just also projects that they've worked on in the past and how the whole business rolls because we don't. I didn't know we had over the last 10 years 200 businesses kind of looking at doing something in our area, and they had to work those projects.
Well, I thought it interesting.
Every once in a while we win one.
Yeah, we were talking about this off air about that number. In that 10-year period since Bill has been here, do you imagine? I don't. Obviously don't want to give a figure here. Just kind of thinking about this, but 200 plus maybe. Like he said, some of those may have looked at Meridian and their project or whatever may have fallen by the wayside, and it just didn't happen. So
right.
I think a lot of cases that may have happened here with a lot of those folks looking at Meridian, Lauderdale County, and the reason it kind of fell apart is because, well, their business model changed or something happened in their industry. I would think it's a very high percentage of that happened. And, of course, you're going to get your nose, and they're going to look elsewhere and go with another place around the states here, around the United States. But I just wonder what that percentage is of the folks that just it kind of fell apart and they just said, no, we're not saying no to you. It's just our project's falling apart here and we're not going to be able to do this. So, but yeah, that's pretty active stuff. And I know they're still working on other projects because you just can't settle for this. I mean, it's a big win. Don't get me wrong, huge win for Meridian, Lauderdale County. But you don't settle. You look ahead and you continue to be aggressive. So stay in the game and keep pressing forward. So
I'm trying to think of what kind of factory I could open up. You think we could you think yo-yos would make a comeback? We can do a yo-yo factory?
What about Slinkies?
Hey, combination, yo-yos and Slinkies.
Slinky factory.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
That could be the broom closet down at the data center.
We could build it off the ground so you come out on the balcony and test the slinky and the yo-yo.
That's right.
You know, make a long string, you know. Whoosh.
Be like Ace Ventura in the sequel where he has the slinky going down the stairs. Everybody loves a slinky.
That's right. Mornings in Meridian. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. I see y'all enjoying this fine Tuesday morning.
We are, and here you are making it better.
Man, listen to me. I hear about the new venue that we're going to have coming out there on 80 after 450 years.
Yeah.
Anyway.
450 years.
Yeah,
Hey,
there you go.
Get some development out there. But who do we get to bring some housing in the area, man? What line of
Do we need some houses?
communication- Yes, we need some new development for some homes. We really do.
Well, I got that tool belt in the car. Rob, you'll help me?
We can get rolling.
I'm afraid we're going to need about 75 more of them, Roger.
Well, let's see. I imagine there's somebody already thinking about that out there.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking about it, but if y'all could let's make some investment, we need to get us an investment company going. And I guarantee you, if we start some housing, new resident, I guarantee you they will come. You know, if you build it, they will come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
I
if
know that
we-
we've heard from the real estate people that, you know, Steve Corey, he talked about how there's not much available for rent.
Yeah, he has
That's
talked
right.
about that. Yeah.
It's kind of like we keep flipping, trying to flip the same old property or whatever. We really need some new development in housing because no matter what we have come in here, if people don't have no place to live, I mean, what's the sense of bringing a whole lot of industry or whatever in the area?
I want to build a little subdivision and name the street Man on the Street Street.
Street. It got to be a cul-de-sac.
Yeah, it'd be a Man on the Street Street.
Right, cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac. That's right.
Yeah.
I like that.
Hey, listen. You know they fighting mad about our billionaire. Every time you mention his name, you got to say he's a billionaire. So I don't know why, to give it some velocity, I guess.
Yeah.
Our billionaire man who got some common sense is shaking up the administrative world in Washington.
Yeah. Just
And the one
driving the Democrats crazy. Well, wait a minute.
driving
Wait a minute. They already are.
Yeah, Chucky boy, that little hair he had, I think it's done thinned out since Trump got in, man. He's out of words now. He don't know what to say. He just starts lying more now because he don't have anything else to say. He can't.
Well, and the point being here is that what I love right now is there's been so much that's been done in 2 weeks, and there's transparency about every single thing that is happening, and nothing is being kept in the dark.
Yes, and remember this, Rob, that Trump said, y'all going to get tired of winning. He going to say he's going to be winning so much, y'all going to say, can we stop winning now? He said it. And
He did say that.
Yes, sir, he said it. So we are winning, and I ain't tired of it yet. They need to just continue on. Oh, my God, the clean house. Can you imagine all the secret, the hideouts and the secretness that these folks had going on, and to tell our Secretary of State said, this is us. You can't tell us what to do or control us. Oh my God, man, they are fighting mad up there.
Fighting mad. There they are.
Man, so yeah, the cover has been pulled back, ladies and gentlemen, and they have been exposed.
I love it. Loving every bit of it.
All right, Jimmy, y'all have a great day.
Thank you.
Good call. Thank you. Appreciate you.
And by the way, Roger, before we go to break here, Trump has his highest approval rating ever. 56% right now. That's really got to drive him crazy.
Meantime, the DNC is trying to figure out how to vote for male and females equally in their convention. Yeah.
Yeah. Guess you hadn't learned yet, have you?
Go. Y'all go right ahead. They don't even know what they're doing. We'll take a break. Stay tuned.
That's what's going
Clint Black. She left him nothing but the taillights in view. Well, actually, when she peeled out, there was a piece of gravel that flew up and hit his windshield.
That no good son of a gun.
Yep. Broke his windshield, and so Clint Black even knows. You go to A&A Glass for something like that.
That's right. Go by and see Adam Carmichael and Adam McCree there at 217 22nd Avenue in Meridian, a couple of doors down from the Children's Museum, or as the cool kids like to say, CeeLo Ward Calhoun Parkway. Go by and see them today. Of course, they've been fixing glass fast for a good number of years. You're welcome to stop by and get a free estimate. Of course, they'll beat any price in the area. And, of course, their staff is amazing down there. Adam have got it going on. So drop by and see them. Shop is open there at 217 22nd Avenue right now until 4 o'clock, or you can call ahead at 601-693-GLASS. Whether it's a rock peck or that complete windshield replacement, they'll get you fixed up there at A&A Glass. Once again, that number 601-693-GLASS, 693-4527 for A&A Glass.
There you go.
There it is.
All right. Well, as you know, this is February, Valentine's Day around the corner, and I've been in touch with one Aubrey Flory.
Aubrey!
She'll be coming in here on Thursday.
Nice.
And what she's going to do is she's going to offer one of our listeners a free bouquet of roses to take to someone on their Valentine's Day.
It's flowers.
And that's her from the world of flowers. So we're looking forward to her coming in. And she was once part of the radio team before she became entrepreneurial and wanted to work for herself and make her own W-2.
It's been a W-2 type morning.
I have. You said yourself you got a file full of W-2s because you know we work for different folks when we're just not here. Because
I'm working for different folks other than this all week long. Trust me.
Folks, I'll tell you this right now. If I had to live on what I made on this show, I'd be at Love's Kitchen every day. But what was that? I mean, that's reality.
Yeah, as real as gets. You know. I mean,
thinking about going down there anyway. All right. They're good people down there. Good people. All right. You know, everybody's got to get into this Valentine's Day thing. And I think maybe it just goes a little bit too far. Because now we're announcing from different vendors heart-shaped food for Valentine's Day.
Well, some of these fast food restaurants do the heart-shaped biscuits. Have you seen that?
I saw the advertisement there for the heart-shaped biscuits. Chick-fil-A is going to have heart-shaped trays. So that's going to be trays. I mean, I guess it's good not to have heart-shaped chicken.
That's God's chicken. That's blessed.
That's right. Well, Dunkin' Donuts, heart-shaped donuts, Krispy Kreme hearts. That's going to be the Bloom collection there. Let's see. DQ is going to have red velvet blizzard cupcake. Yeah. There's all that kind of thing. And then, let's see, Papa John's, heart-shaped pizza.
And this is all not approved by RFK Jr.
That's right. It's better for you if it's shaped like a heart.
Of course, makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside and jiggly, too, all at the same time.
So that's just some of the old Baskin-Robbins is going to have a crazy for you cake, whatever that happens to be. And,
all these places are capitalizing on the month of love.
It's the month of love. It's all good. Do something nice for your Valentine. There's no question about that. But that's just kind of what's going on out there in the world. We'll talk about more tomorrow.
Charles will be back tomorrow.
He sure will, and we'll see you then. I'm Roger, and he's
Rob.
We say thank you, God bless, and buy local.
The highway is ever